What's up, guys? Wanted to put together another brief tutorial here on the guide for using the guide for ultimate golf for wind values. So for those who have not seen it in the Play Store, it's free to download in the Play Store and the App Store. So free for you guys to download. It does run on ads in the event that you're running the free version. However, there is also a subscription version, which, you know, highly recommend, as it does have some bonus features for you. One of the things that we can do is we can kind of switch our drivers around in here with a double tap. And we'll be able to go into the, for instance, if we were to go into one of these tournaments, let's just try to focus on a win that they're giving us. So one of the things that you'll see is we just will go down to a power 0 ball, 7.3 wind, about 2.5 rings. So 2.5 rings is where this ball's going to land down. Just gives us a nice overview so we can just kind of put the target where we want. And here you can see we get our ultimate shot. Now, one of the other Android-only features is pop-up mode. So I'm going to show you what pop-up mode looks like. You can see I just opened it there, and now I can open and close it over top the game. Keep in mind this is Android only, otherwise we just have to ping back and forth between the apps, like you saw me doing. Either way, it's not a huge deal breaker. You know, it's really easy to use either way. But this just gives, you know, just a little bit easier usage. And, you know, especially for tutorial purposes, makes it a little bit easier for you guys to see what I'm doing. Now, one of the things that you see here, max 3.5 rings down. So we're going to use that to our advantage, and we're just going to say, okay, well, somewhere up here it's going to land. So with that in mind, with the tailwind, I'm just going to kind of use this short value here. And in the early going, you're going to want to focus on ultimate shots. It's going to be your best way to be able to, you know, roll it up one here and get the ball close. One of the things that I love about this game is the way that, you know, there's a really good feel component to it, where it really takes, you know, a pretty good skill base. So you're kind of, you know, definitely having to mentally work through some of the adjustments yourself. That's kind of, you know, the beauty of this little ring app here. So it can just give you a nice guideline, especially if you're lost. And you can see all we have to do is we have to finish even or better to beat our opponent here. So that's more or less what we're going to focus on. And similarly, we can do the wind directional arrow here, which is 7.6. About 3 rings down, so it's just gonna help us say, okay, well, we're not gonna land in the rough. So that's the easiest way. And you can see I got just a tiny bit of a great ball to the left, probably a little bit more favorable than it would have been to the right, since this is a hard sloping fairway to the right. So what this allows us to do is get the ball out there close. And like I mentioned, we can switch right to the other club that we need, which is the Sparrow 3. 7.1. Now here you'll see max, and then half club is 1 ring. So this game doesn't work as easy as you might have had before in previous games. It's a little bit harder to get dialed. So if this is the max line, one of the things that you'll want to do is you kind of want to size things up here. So this is probably about half club. And what this tells you is right around the half club, instead of it playing about 3.5 rings, it's only going to play a ring. So it makes it a little bit easier for small adjustments. And one of the things, this screen is going to break, so I'm going to try to factor that in. We're going to try to just aim over here, try to play the slope, and then we'll adjust down right around a ring. Of course, ultimate shot is going to be crucial. So you want to focus on that ultimate shot. Here you can see that it's just kind of rolling out. Oh! So we gave it a really good run, almost got the drop, even with very little ball guide. So it does take a deep understanding of, you know, the greens and how they're going to break, but it just comes from experience. So the more that you play, the more that you're going to be fine-tune some of those adjustments. You can see here we are 2 in. We're already 2 up. And all we have to do is beat even, and we're going to win a free chest. So this game gives you a lot of incentive to play and be able to win easy rewards. These developers, they do, and you know, they're top-notch when it comes to creating new content, listening to player feedback. If you guys have not joined the Facebook group, the Facebook group, of course, is called Ultimate Golf Game. If you have not joined this, highly recommend joining it. It's the easiest way to kind of, you know, actually directly reach out to the developers. They're on there, they're active, and they actually listen and they update the game accordingly based on a lot of the feedback. So it is a really good place if you guys have not been, especially in the early, kind of getting grounded there. Now, here you can see we're close to the min line. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up our win. Min line is saying 371. So somewhere around there for ring adjustment. It's going to be very hard to dial this one. I think it's something along the lines of this, plus a little short hit. You can see, we just can't stop it. We don't have the backspin. It's one of the reasons that they set the target score so fair, is because they know you're not going to be close to a lot of these pins. I felt like the worst thing I could have done is not put it on the green, so I didn't try to short hit that one too much. Definitely recommend some of that strategy. Of course, we should still be able to roll this putt. So that's more or less what we're going to try to do. Make sure our timing's good enough. Still rolling the putt and pick up the birdie. So you see, like I said, you know, lots of incentive in the early going. You know, we're well ahead of the opponent here already. And this is a brand new bag. We're using essentially basic clubs. We don't have anything fancy. One of the best pieces of advice I can give you early players, I'm assuming most of the people here are early players, is, you know, don't overextend yourself. So you see, I didn't really overpower it. I wanted to make sure I hit the ultimate shot, especially on this hole. This hole, I already know it kind of, you know, it'll trickle off to the right, trickle off to the left. You gotta be a little bit careful, and it likes to roll out. So with that being said, you know, we want to make sure that we're not being too aggressive, especially in the early going. When we punch in the win, 7.7, 2.5 rings. With the ring adjustment here, I'm just going to give this a tad bit of top spin. Now keep in mind, towards max club, it's going to have some natural backspin. Towards min club, it's going to kind of need to run out. The difference is usually, a good rule of thumb for you guys, is about 2-3 bars. So assume that at max club, it kind of already has 2 or 3 bars on it, as opposed to like nothing. That's the best way to think about it. And at min club, think of it having no spin. It's just not going to stop. So 2.4 rings here. And we'll probably utilize some of our curl here. Of course, ultimate shot, like I said. Gotta make sure that you catch those ultimates. Here you can see we're just rolling it into the green, giving ourselves a good look for the birdie. You can see, you know, especially for the early going, there's no ball rewards, so we're just doing this all with the basic. However, you know, I do, you know, definitely recommend trying to build a ball library, trying to save some of those balls for those really good tournaments. You'll see. You know, some of the qualifier events are going to have more of like a 4-round style. You'll definitely want to take advantage of some of those longer tournaments in the game. So let's keep going here. We're on hole 5 already. It's one of the other things that I really love about this game is we can just smoke through. I could do this whole round in 10 minutes. You know, no other game I've been able to play as fast as I can play on this game. So, you know, the more time that I have for, you know, I'm sure most of you guys also have like family time and everything that you need. But it's really easy to be able to come on here, pop a few holes, and then, you know, come back to it later or whatnot. So let's go here. We'll do this one. 7.5, 5 rings. You see it said 4.9 at max. That's gonna be pretty close to what we use. So right around there, 5 rings. Keep in mind, this is what I mentioned from the last hole, that it's already gonna have like some natural backspin towards max club. So watch, this is gonna check up. So you remember how mine rolled out on that par 3? It's not gonna be near as much on a shot like this. You can see we're able to get the ball in really close, pick up an easy birdie. We could have even made it, you know. We really wanted to get aggressive. You can see what this ring adjustment does. Like I said, this is free to use. It's in the App Store. It's in the Apple iTunes Store. It's in the Android Store, free to use. This overlay feature is Samsung only. I'm playing on there's a Samsung video if you guys want to check it out. So if you are looking for the tablet, I can recommend to you guys what to get and show you guys how to set it up. So do be on the lookout for that video as well. A couple different ways to go there. If I was to leave here, if I was to go to help, I could just press this YouTube button. It'll take you straight to my channel. You can find a lot of that good content. Additionally, this guide section here, all the latest videos, including this one, it's going to filter into the top here. There's a algorithm that we have running. As soon as we fire it, it punches right into this guide section. So you'll be able to find all my latest content right at the top of the app. So it's very user-friendly, easy to use. So here you're going to see El Capitan. Not going to be a lot of range on this, as you can see. So 2, 3 rings. And like I mentioned, this is going to kind of naturally have some backspin because we're going to be pretty close to the max line. Adjust up here. Ultimate shot. Give us at least a good eagle putt. You know, of course I could hold this. It's kind of more or less what I was trying, but didn't get quite aggressive enough with my ball guide. But you can see ring adjustments made easy. So very easy to use this win calculator. Highly recommend, like I said, free to use. So, you know, it only benefits you to use. And even if you don't have it set up and pop up, you know, we can just, down here, we can just switch back and forth between the apps. You know, just like this. It doesn't have to be on the screen. You can just toggle between the two screens. It kind of has the same user functionality. Here we are, hole 7 here. This is definitely one of the harder holes, but it does slope, so it's easy to keep it in the fairway. Just don't get too carried away with your drive. Let's take a look here. Like I mentioned, this is definitely one of the tighter, tough pin locations to go for. A lot of times what I'm trying to do is I'm just trying to land here in the early going, especially if you didn't use any special ball or anything. And right around two some rings. Utilize as much curl. Somewhere around there. And like I mentioned, I'll utilize as much curl as I can. Unfortunately, it's just a tad bit limited. You can see we just kind of put it in position here, just on the green. Another green in regulation. You can see just very tough getting to that back pin location. Ah, I was late on that. I don't think that's going to go in. Oh, it did. So, as you can see, we roll in another birdie here. It's pretty easy to get started. It is a little bit different feel. It takes some getting used to, but ultimately you're going to find that you can really put up some big numbers in this score, especially the more that you learn about the game, figure out things. You'll find that you'll be able to do things that you wouldn't have been able to, you know, without, you know, kind of wind assist, or it's definitely favorable. Now, this is a very tough wind. It's about 3 rings. I'm just essentially going to be visualizing 3 rings up, and we're just going to try to land on that fairway. Just try to kind of curl it as much as we can. It's really the only shot that I have. We're just trying to get onto the fairway. Just kind of bring it in this way. Very tough to get into that pin location. About one of the toughest that we could have faced there. So here you can see, we're able to take advantage and capitalize, still get the birdie. Like I mentioned, this tool, it gives you a very nice estimation. It's really good for new players to be able to establish a foundation and not just have to guess. Otherwise, you just don't know how much to go and how much stuff is going to play. So it definitely makes things a little bit easier when you can see it in the ring calculator. Hopefully this one holds. It does have a sloping fairway. I'm usually very cautious, so I know where I can miss my great ball. So if I am going to be, I'll either be a little early on purpose or a little bit late. On that case, I'm a little late on purpose because I know it slopes down. And here, this is one of these great clubs. You'll see this El Capitan early stages. Not the easiest win we could have had, but basically what we're trying to do is just optimize, get this down as far as possible. With the sloping fairway, again, we can go great left and it's still going to work out. As you can see, we get it up here as far as possible. Pretty easy shot to get aggressive here. One of the things that you'll see with the wedges, here's the max line. So half club is about here. We're going to be even less than half club. So this is maybe 40%. So 40% club. Yep. Lost my subscription. About 0.6 rings, give or take. Of course, we're missing a lot of guide here. So notice how I'm keeping it short. Usually it bounces to the left, breaks right. So net, it doesn't do a lot. But keep in mind, we're going to have a very small adjustment, so I'm only going to pull up just a touch. Of course, the ultimate shot is going to be crucial. And we rolled it in. So, not bad overall. You can see, the basic balls, almost basic clubs. We're able to still put up a, decent score. So, it is easy to get yourself on a path and get yourself, some good rewards in the early going. So if you haven't come over here yet and you're looking to improve your game, definitely highly recommend going to the Play Store, getting the guide for Ultimate Golf, but also checking out my content and, keeping up with the guides here in the recent. So all the new stuff is going to filter up to the top, and definitely keeping your game on track. That's what I've done for years. So I have years and years of experience doing this. So I hope that you guys are learning from it. And if you do have questions or comments, feel free to subscribe. Post your comments in the video below. I try to do the best that I can to keep up with those. So best of luck, and I'll see you guys next time.